Right, here's how England's half of the draw looks then. They're through to face Switzerland, of course, in the quarterfinals. That game takes place 5 o'clock on Saturday in Dusseldorf. The other last 16 ties on this half of the draw, they take place tomorrow. We've got the Netherlands taking on Romania and, of course, Austria play Turkey. We can get more on England's performance. How far can they go? Lack of substitutes as well. Look ahead to the quarterfinals. Now there's a man who knows what it's like to be at a major tournament with England. We have Michael Dawson, as you can see. How are you feeling? Have you recovered yet? We should be celebrating, but it's kind of mixed emotions, isn't it, right now?
Good morning, Ellie. Yeah, I mean, we're here again. 4 mornings after the game, reflecting on how the performances have been, and we know they've been well below par. And I always said, Haley, when we did pre-tournament predictions, how we're going to play for 7 games, we weren't always going to play well. I listened at Gareth there, I listened at Jude. They know there's room for improvement, huge improvement in the performance. But I think this morning we have to reflect on, thankfully, we are still in the tournament and the guys aren't coming home today. I think that's what has to be a positive. That's what they have to try and believe and breed on. And things can only get better. Performances can only get better. But I think Jude's goal, let's look to something a little bit more positive. And that finish was certainly top drawn. And what we're starting to expect from Jude.
Was it one of the greatest England goals ever, do you reckon? Because of what it meant, what it did, how it was scored, the timing, everything?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately they would have been coming back if Jude Bellingham wasn't on the pitch. And I looked at the Slovenia game and quite easily could he have been brought off. Again last night, I thought he could quite easily have been brought off. But Gareth, what he does, he sticks with his players that he believes going to have that quality. Arguably one of the last kicks of the game. Unbelievable finish. And that's the quality. That is what Jude Bellingham can bring. We all expect to, obviously just turning 21. He's got an enormous amount of pressure on these young shoulders. But that's because the way he plays. That's because of how good he is. This group of players have been given the expectations because of the tournaments previous. They've been absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately, we're yet to see it in this. But 3 more games, if we can just start picking up a little bit of form, I don't think there's anyone to fear in there. I watched Spain last night, and they're a team that you look and thinking could they be the winners. But I still fancy us, Haley. I said it before the tournament. I believe we're blessed with so much quality, but I'm not seeing it at this moment in time.
Do you think Jude Bellingham, scoring that goal and getting through, essentially saved Gareth Southgate's job?
Yeah, for sure. Regardless of whether he brings the trophy back or he doesn't, I'm not too sure Gareth will be there. I think you see the pressure that these players that they're talking about very openly, the criticism that they've had in this tournament. And this is the first time that I've seen this group of players look like they're playing with a little bit of fear. And you can't play football with that because you play with inside yourself. These players shouldn't be playing with any fear. They are top class players, world class. I do put some of those players in that bracket. But you then have to go and perform and have the freedom to express yourself and go and show the world how good you are.
Jude Bellingham after the game, Michael, I mean, he referenced the rubbish coming from the media. Is it a bit of a concern that the players are probably being affected by negativity?
Yeah, this is a surprise for me. I mean, look, pundits, people in the media, social media, all these kind of things can have an opinion. You know, it's not personal. We're talking about performances, and myself included. They even spoke about how they have to improve. Collectively, they haven't been good enough. Individually, they haven't. But we're still in the draw into the quarterfinals against a good Switzerland team that come Saturday night, we're going to have to improve. We have to, whether Gareth is going to match Switzerland up. We know they play with a back 3. I've been very impressed with them, the way they played against Italy. So we're going to have to improve because we are going to come up against better teams and we aren't going to just be able to manage to get through by not performing to the best of our ability. However, with 4 games in, things can only get better.
What about the lack of substitutes in normal time? You heard the fans calling, waiting. They had to wait a long time, didn't they? What did you make of of that with Southgate not doing that until after 60 minutes.
Yeah, well, I thought there was going to be changes at half-time, but I've said this all the way through the tournament, Hayley. When you look at the performances that we're putting in, when it's not working, you have to change it. But that's something that Gareth has done in the previous tournament. He doesn't make drastic changes. He'll tweak a few things here and there. I mean, I spoke after the Slovenia game when Gordon came on, Palmer came on. You're looking for changes. Were they going to play last night against Slovakia? No, he's gone to his tried and trusted Kobe Mainoo, who came in, I thought did very, very well. He brings that calmness. He brings more balance to the team, which we've spoke about. But yet again, we're talking about that left-hand side again, where we're just not getting the attacking threat down the left-hand side because we haven't got an out-and-out left-back. And Kieran Trippier, he never lets anyone down. Any football club he's been at when he's played for England, but he just doesn't give us an attacking threat going forward.
What about Ivan Toney? Were you impressed when he came on for his tournament debut, finally?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Ivan Toney. You talk about games for coming on. If the game's going to be stretching, we're sitting in, do we look to hit on the counter-attack? You bring an Ollie Watkins on. When a team's sitting a little bit deeper, you bring an Ivan Toney on. His physicality, his presence. Look, he wasn't involved in the goal, but he just brought that little bit of someone else to pick up for the set piece. Matt Gay flicks it on, he's in and around it. But then when Harry Kane goes off, he can play as a single striker. He holds the ball up. There was one right towards the end of the extra time. Jordan Pickford plays it up. He pins a defender. And I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. I'm thinking that is unbelievable play. Their centre-half doesn't come through and head it back and put us under pressure again. He's just a presence and a real handful, and he'll be disappointed he didn't take that chance when he goes through and blazes it over right towards the end. But it was another positive coming on. But we've got to use these substitutions. I think we're blessed. From that bench, you talk about players coming on and having an impact. I think we're starting to see Cole Palmer coming on again. The fans were wanting him at half-time. We've all been wanting it, but when he does come on, he's certainly making a difference.
Now, there are going to be forced changes, won't there, for the next game? Mark Gahey obviously suspended for that quarter-final on Saturday. As a centre-back yourself, who would you bring in?
I think what Gareth is probably going to do is going to be Konza. We've seen him at Aston Villa. He's played right-back, centre-back. Will he be playing on the left-hand side? So will he maybe look at Lewis Dunk as well? Because Lewis Dunk plays left-hand side for Brighton, but he hasn't played an awful lot of football since the friendly. I think it was Iceland, the first game that he started, then didn't play in the second one. So whether he'll change to a back three, like I said earlier, and he'll match Switzerland up. We've seen him go to a back three. Does that will he then play Saka or Gordon at wing back? Another attacking option there. Only time will tell, but I think he could quite easily match Switzerland up because his hand's been forced with Mark Gay getting the second booking last night. Unfortunately for him, because I think he's been certainly a real positive in the England squad this tournament.
Yeah. So what would your starting 11 be then? Go on then.
You've got me off here, surprising me. I think I wrote it earlier, and I didn't get a message. I went for a back three because of what Switzerland were going to be, and it was going to be Pickford, Walker, Stones, Konza, Saka and Trent at wing backs, Rice and Mainoo, and I've gone attacking with Bellingham, Foden, and Kane with a front three that just give the option to roam. That was. I'm glad I did a little prep before I came on, Hayley. Otherwise, I'd have been all over the place. I mean, the opportunity could Ezra come into that three. Could Gallagher go into instead of Mainoo? But I think Mainoo has to stay in the team after his performance last night. It'll all depend on what formation Gareth goes with. But I think we have to take it as a positive. We were so close to being out, but now we're only three games away from winning it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just finally, for the tournament, you told us England should win the whole thing. That's what a lot of people were thinking as well. So much positivity. How confident are you now, though?
Well, I think this has been a question, and I feel as though the players are feeling that expectation on the shoulders, where we've been going into tournaments previously with hope and dreaming. I believe that the nation, fans, pundits, we all had a real belief that we could go on and win this tournament. And I still believe it. We have to improve. We have to put better performances. And individually, we need some big performance from our world-class players. But we're in the hat, Hayley. We've got as good as chances as anyone else. Going into a quarter final against a good Switzerland team. So I'm still very positive, Hayley. Fingers crossed I'll be right.
There you go. End on a positive. That's what we want to hear. Michael, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.